Hey, I'm Sara G, Allison, and I'm a trichologist and hair loss expert for nearly 3 decades now. And I'm the founder of this company, Hair Today, More Tomorrow, and I've created a whole range of wonderful products for your hair and your scalp. So today I wanted to talk to you about one of the number one causes of hair loss in women. But men too sometimes, so don't think if you're a man, then don't think this isn't for you, because sometimes it is. And that is low iron, in particular ferritin. So something that I see it's probably, well, next to vitamin D, I'll do another video about vitamin D, but this is so common, especially in women of a menstruating age. By the time you get to the menopause, then a lot of ladies, because you're not having that blood loss every month, then things can settle down. But however, I do see it in menopausal women too, so don't think just because you're menopausal this doesn't apply to you either. But it's very common, as I said, to have a low ferritin level, and that would be causing you to have hair loss. So that could be hair thinning, it could be excessive hair shedding, it could just be the quality of your hair just not feeling strong. And other signs of having a low ferritin level would be that you're very tired. So I get this a lot when I have my clients, they come in to see me, and I do ask them if they have any other symptoms, and tiredness is one of those very common ones. So definitely by getting your ferritin levels up, it can help not only with your hair loss, but it can also help with your tiredness. Now, having said that, it is extremely difficult to get your iron levels up to where you need them to be. I do have a really amazing product, that my Iron Plus supplement is fantastic. I call it the Ferrari of irons at getting your iron levels up. And no other supplement has come close to this. This is why I developed it in the first instance, was because for years I was testing people's blood, and they're using all the other iron supplements that are out there, like the normal sort of ferrous sulfate, the ferrous fumarate, the other more gentle iron sort of liquids and things like that too. And the levels were just not going up enough to make a difference with their hair. Now, I like the levels to be quite a lot higher than what your GP would want it to be. I want your levels to be, for your hair, significantly higher than what your laboratory results will be saying is the normal range. You can go onto my website, onto my blog post, Low Iron, the cause of your hair shedding or thinning hair, to find out what level I recommend. But it's a lot higher than what's in that range on your blood results. And that's why when the doctors read your blood results, they say, well, they don't read, they just skim read them, and they just see whether the laboratory has marked anything with an asterisk or an exclamation mark. And if it falls within the range, they won't notice what the actual level is. They'll just say, oh, the laboratory hasn't highlighted this. So the doctor will say to you, yeah, you're normal. And what I'm saying is it might not be normal. I like to interpret my clients' blood results, and something I'm very passionate about actually is reading blood results. So I don't know, they just excite me. So I love seeing what people's blood results are like when they first come in, and how they improve over time. And I can always tell whether someone's not following their treatment plan very well, because if they're dropping a little bit, I'm like, well, you've not been taking your iron or whatever it might be, are you? And they're like, no. So yeah, it does show up in your blood work, which is why I really like to examine those, because you need to know what's going on. You can't just second guess this. And it does take time, but as I said, my iron supplement is the Ferrari of iron, so it gets your levels up nice and quickly, much faster than any others, and it will produce really good results. So the other thing I really need to tell you about, though, is that it's all very well taking iron supplements, but if you're still having really heavy periods, then you really need to address those heavy periods. And a lot of women tolerate heavy periods and they won't realize that actually there are things that can be done about it. And it could be a sign of something else that needs some treatment by a gynecologist or by your doctor. So I actually had a background in gynecology. That used to be my speciality before I became a trichologist. And I actually was working as a very, very senior nurse in very prestigious London hospital for women's health when I started studying to be a trichologist. And people did think it was a bit of a strangely opposing specialities, like, well, what's a link with hair and women's health, gynecology and hair loss? It's like, these are very, very different. And I could see this link. And my gynecology expertise has really come in handy, because when I get a lot of my clients with heavy bleeds, and I can recommend lots of different things for them, that they can then go to their doctor and say, look, or to their gynecologist and get the necessary tests or the necessary treatments. So it's really important, as I said, to address those heavy periods as well, because it's like filling up a leaky bucket. So if you're trying to, it's got a little hole in your bucket and you're trying to fill it up with water. So yeah, you can fill it up a little bit with the iron, but if every month you're having a very, very, very heavy period, then your blood loss is like, your ferritin levels are going down every month with your heavy period. So you're topping it up. Obviously, you still want to take that iron, because it would be terrible without taking the iron at all. But it's like a fighting, but it's like this battle. So that's why you have to kind of, address the flow as well. But ironically, quite often when you get your iron levels up, when you get your ferritin levels up, ironically, it can really help. That can be the one thing that actually lessens your flow. So it's worth just trying that as a first step to see if that does actually make your periods lighter. The other reason why you may be having very low iron levels, and especially if you're a man, because obviously you're not going to be having the periods, but it's very popular now to eat less red meat, and it's kind of been a bit vilified. So eating red meat. So a lot of people are cutting right down on the red meat, and a lot of people are not even eating it at all. So it's not just the vegans and the vegetarians. People that will eat meat are just like avoiding red meat. And it's a red meat where you get a lot of that iron from. If you're not sure whether you need to take a supplement, then I would up your red meat intake if you don't have any objections to doing so. And especially liver, and obviously try and get organic and grass-fed if possible. But if not, if you can't afford that, then that's fine. And minced beef is fine, sort of ground beef, minced beef, whatever you like to call it. That's fine. That's a cheaper cut, so it doesn't have to be expensive steaks. Obviously that's lovely, but minced beef will count. So if you're on a budget, just up that. And obviously liver isn't very expensive. Liver pate is also another way of eating liver if you don't like actually eating liver by itself. Obviously it's an acquired taste, eating liver. I personally love it, and I think people over the age of say 50 probably ate it when they were children, and but I think the younger generation have just never really come across it. So I think it's just a very foreign food source to them, but you could try it. I don't know if you'd like it. As I said, it is quite an acquired taste. Have it with bacon, liver and bacon. It's really nice. And if you would like to buy my iron supplement, which obviously will work the best, but I would say, eat some extra red meat on top of taking a supplement if you can. You can just go to my website, which is www.hairtoday.moretomorrow.com, and just go to the shop page and you'll see that there. As I said, I do have a blog post on my website too about the iron, so you may want to have a read at that too. And if you want to book a consultation to get your blood works done, and then I can analyze it all properly for you, and I can recommend exactly what dose to take and keep an eye on you. And that would be obviously the best course of action. So if you're not in my local area, I covered quite a few areas in the UK, but I can do Zoom consultations as well. So look forward to hearing from you, and please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.